Stand by, everybody. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It is 7:59. Good to see you. It's your friend James Shaw, and I'm so thankful you're here and part of what we're doing inside of the Pivot Shift Ahead Mastermind. Welcome to everybody who's joining us now inside the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group, or maybe you're watching this on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JamesDShaw. I'm glad you're here. Hey, you missed the first half of the call, which was all about you take a listing, you sell it, you want to market to that neighborhood that you sold it, but another agent in your office lives in the neighborhood. What do you do? We had a great call about that. If you missed it, you can go into wherever you listen to podcasts, search Pivot Shift Ahead Mastermind, and download it. Do you know that our podcast listen to this, the percentage increase in people listening to the podcast in the last week? 3,800%. 3,800%. Now it's new, so I mean, it's the only thing we can do, really. We've only been doing it a couple of weeks. But you know, we have people listening, basically every country in Europe. Cheers to you. The Philippines, Indonesia, all of North America. People are listening to this, so thank you for being part of what we do. It means the world. We're going to have a great call today. It's Back to the Basics Week, where we're all about making sure that we're doing the basics right, because we tend to get away from them. We want to get creative, and as we get close to the finish line, we start to get cutesy-wootsy, and it messes us all up. And I want to go, the basics are never outdated, just like it says in the Shift book, let's go back to them. And so yesterday was all about time blocking for your lead generation, just making sure you get it done. We had a great conversation around it. If you missed it, go back and listen to the podcast. Today, pricing with purpose, helping your sellers price correctly from the start so you can get it sold. That's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, something good, Bree Vaughn. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, friend. I'm so proud of you and this
Hey,
community
thanks.
that you have built. So my something good is yesterday I closed on a listing that it came to me by way of the seller's ex-wife found me on Facebook somewhere and recommended me. It was an expired listing. It had been on the market twice for 6 months. On the contract, sorry, twice. And I got it listed. We got it under contract and sold for over asking. So just, the things that we learn here, the strategies, they work. And I'm just excited for my seller that he can finally rest his head knowing that his home is sold and he can be on his way to next.
Learn the plays, run the plays. That's what we're about. We're about learning plays and running them. And you're right, the stuff on here works because we don't teach theory. We teach strategies that work. By the way, some of you have an opportunity to get in person to learn some strategies that work, to learn the plays and run the plays. I want to make sure you know about Boise, Idaho. I will be there on Thursday. So for our folks out in Boise, Thursday we're doing Rise, which is our real estate inspiration, strategy, and execution course. It's all content from 5.5 years of pivot calls about, first, getting our mindset right. That's the inspiration. Second, what strategies work in today's market. And then third, how do you execute those strategies consistently in a way that brings you results? So that is in Boise, Idaho on Thursday, September the 25th. Then we're going to do it again in Champaign, Illinois. Champaign with my campaign. Champaign, Illinois on October 8th. So if you're in the Mid-American region, you're in Indy, you're in Chicago, you're Central Illinois, whatever, get to Champaign October 8th. We're doing Rise again. And then the next day, October the 9th, we'll be in Chicago. That's my kind of town. And we're doing something we're calling the 3L Intensive, Leads, Listings, and Leverage for today's market. And what we have done is interviewed elite agents in the Mid-American region, like the top of the top, to find out what's their lead gen strategy play that's working right now. Then they're going to do a panel, and then we have a playbook from each of them so you can download their strategies and implement them, and then we'll mastermind around them. And then after we do leads, we'll do a panel on listings. You'll get the playbook, download their systems and tools, and then we'll mastermind around it. And then when that's done, we'll do a panel on leverage. You'll find out what they're doing, download the playbook, get their tools, and we'll mastermind around it. October 9th in Chicago. Details on all of these at jamesdshaw.com/events. jamesdshaw.com/events. So I hope to see you there. All right, Jean Marie, give us something good. Good morning.
Thanks for modeling how to run a successful business and expand it. Who knew back in March of 2020, right? We just have to watch you and see how it's done in real life.
You're sweet.
Happy news from our side. We just welcomed a a new baby into the family on Friday. So yeah, new baby Julian Ramon Rodriguez is part of the family, her first and our fourth. So
Oh, that's awesome.
thanks.
Congratulations, Jean Marie, to you and your family. It's good stuff.
Thanks.
Carrie, you get the last one this morning. Good morning.
Good morning from Myrtle Beach. I am so thankful that you are coming to Myrtle Beach in November because normally I have to drive to see you, but you are 100% worth the drive. But I'm so thankful that you're actually coming to our office and I get to
Uh,
see you in person.
I'm excited to be there. November 19th, we're doing
Yes.
Rise in Myrtle Beach on November 19th. Next day, November 20th, we're doing a shift one-day workshop in Charlotte. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And all those events you can get information on at jamesdshaw.com/events. Carrie, thank you so much. When I started this call 5.5 years ago, the whole point of it was to focus on our mindset and then focus on strategy. I'm a pretty tactical person. Like I always joke, I want to NKOTB it, right? I want to go step by step, new kids on the block. I want to know step by step, what do we do and how do we do it? And that's what we're focused on in this group. And that's what we're focused on in our Wednesday webinars. We're doing one with Lindsay Haas on Wednesday about her pre-listing process. It is a legit step-by-step. So I hope you'll join us on that. And today is tactical because we're going back to the basics. It's all about that. And I want to talk about pricing because pricing got weird for a while. 2022 and 2023, you went and met with the seller and they were like, do you think we can get X? And you were like, sure. And that was your whole pricing conversation. And now we've got a little bit more purposeful. I think the question we have to think about is the list price that your seller chooses and that you promote, is it a billboard or a barrier? Is it marketing the house and bringing people in, or is it making people run away from it? Is it something that's getting eyeballs that become feet, or is it just eyeballs? Because we want both. I think we have to be purposeful about it. In Shift, Gary teaches us that pricing is about strategy, not about value. That we're looking at what is the strategy we want to follow to get the most people in and create the most opportunity. It's not really about value. The buyers are going to determine the value, but the sellers are still in control. See, while buyers determine the market, the sellers have control over it because the seller is still the one that picks the price. And so I think we have to ask, what are we doing to make sure that sellers truly understand the market today? You know, we've got three options when it comes to pricing. We can price to win, price to compete, or price to sit. And which one, think of your listings. Which ones of them are priced to win, which means they're getting offers, price to compete so that at least they're getting looked at, or price to sit, nobody's interested in them. And are you walking through what that looks like with your seller? Now, one of our most popular Inspire Collective sessions we've ever had was April 15th. We had Aaron Simons, Emily Baker come on and talk about strategically pricing and how to get reductions, price right from the beginning, and get reductions when you need them. If you're an Inspire member and haven't participated in that call, please go do it. But I just want us to chat about getting back to the basics and pricing on purpose with purpose. Jenny Wallach, you're first in Tulsa. Good morning.
Well, good morning. I'm actually in Vail, Colorado at the Rocky Mountain Summit, which is awesome, by the way. But yeah, that was obviously a panel yesterday was about pricing correctly from the start. I get fired up about it because after all these years in the business and all the different markets I've been in, it should have never gone away that we help our clients from the start understand. And this is a time when not only we obviously don't tell them the price. We have a conversation to first just understand their needs, their motivations. Why are we sitting here today? Why am I sitting here today? What was it about me that got me here to talk with you? And then it's sharing the truths of today through storytelling. If you don't have a personal story yet about the pains of overpricing, then go find one from someone else because there's plenty of them to borrow. And it is a story that we have to tell. And then the strategy become behind it for me is the 3x3x3. This is the method I've always used. I print off, bring with me to share the MLS data, the pictures of their 3 active competitions that I believe is probably in the price range of where their home should be, and the 3 pendings that are similar and in the range that I believe they should probably be in. And then the recent closed 6 months ago, too long. I'm even at a month or a couple at the most. And then you go through them one by one. How does this one compare to your home? They know their friends and neighbors. They know if one has more updates or a pool or nicer kitchen. And so they are in and invested. And then share with them, if you were a buyer today, which of these would you pick? Where would your home fit inside of this? And they have buy-in and commitment to that price so that it's a team effort and I'm not the bad guy if that was the wrong price. And then of course we share that the days on market will in the end hurt them. Even if they have a longer timeline, we still need to price it to sell faster, because more days on market usually means a price adjustment, more concessions they're going to have to pay. And it's a story. You're just storytelling with passion is what I believe.
And borrow the stories on here. We've heard them over and over again. So if you don't have a story, borrow the ones you've heard on here. Jenny, great share. Good to see you again. Have fun in Vail today.
Hi, I will. Thanks.
Maria Pettit, good morning.
Good morning from Cleveland, Ohio. Man, I get to follow Jenny Wolick. Oh, Jenny, I love it. It's exactly what I was going to say. I'm just going to add one quick thing that has been helping me with conversations with sellers is making sure the seller's not getting caught up on that price and saying this is a marketing price to drive interest, and making sure that they realize they're not negotiating with money they already have, right? Because that price now matters so much more than it ever has. And wherever we find, and again, following that strategy of bringing in the comparables, walking through it with them, like really listening to them. I feel like the gal that you're going to have on Wednesday is going to walk through that, where you're really listening to your seller and understanding their home and giving opinions and showing them the data, letting them realize like what they're up against, and then letting them decide too. But that price is a marketing price. It is a strategy. That is not where we're going to land. It's to drive interest. It has been helping me win listings, and I've never had more listings coming now with that conversation alone. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. You're right. Lindsay's conversation that we're having on Wednesday will absolutely help all of you who are struggling with this. Her pre-list process is so good and really helps sellers see it. This is a free call we do every Wednesday. It's called our Wednesday webinar. We have found that Wednesdays are the best day to have a Wednesday webinar. So it's jamesdshaw.com/Wednesday webinar. Super simple. 2 o'clock Eastern. Register for it. If you can't watch it live, we'll email you the recording when it's done. I'll put the link in the chat, but it's jamesdshaw.com/Wednesday webinar. It's free, open to everybody. And Maria, you're right. It will absolutely help you. Gary, you're up next as we talk about pricing. Good morning.
Thanks, James. I've shared this on here before, but it's just so good. I'll share it again because there's new people and people that might not have heard it. I got this from Liz Lindsay, a MAPS coach a number of years ago. And the idea is you're sitting with a seller discussing a price you're going to put the property on the market for. And there's a couple of options we have. One option is we put the property on the market. Buyer agents bring their qualified buyers to view the property. After they're done with the viewing, they walk out on the front steps, they lock the door, and the buyer says to the buyer agent, hey, what other property? This is a nice house, but what other properties we're going to look at today? And then they go off and they go look at some other properties. Compare that to another scenario where it's on the market. The buyer agent shows the property. They walk out on the front steps, lock the door, and the buyer says, oh my gosh, that's the best thing I've seen. That is great value. What do we have to do to make an offer? How do we structure our offer so that we could win this property? So what's the difference in the two scenarios? The first property scenario, it's on at a competitive price. It's competing with the other properties in the market such that the buyer said, you know what, let's go look at this house. It looks like something we might be interested in. Second scenario, it's a compelling price. It's compelling the buyer to take action. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for action. We're looking for them to write an offer and be excited enough that they will do whatever they have to not lose the property. And in many cases, not every market, but many markets still, they're going to bid that price up.
That's right.
Because the emotions have kicked in and they want that property. They don't want to lose it. So it's a golden script. I love it. I share it all the time.
It's really good. And by the way, that's something you can teach to a seller, right? Gary, we're teaching this to our sellers to help them figure out the price. See, sellers always want to leave room to negotiate. That's part of how they're picking the price. They go, well, we want to leave room to negotiate. And my question about that is, well, which way? Which way do you want? Do you want to leave room to negotiate down or leave room to negotiate up? Because if you price it in such a way, you can price it in such a way that so many people are interested that you're now negotiating the price up, not down. Let's price it so we negotiate up. Gary, thank you. Jean Marie, twice on a Tuesday. Good morning.
I know, I must be motivated. Here's going back to that Aaron Kaufman video. Everybody should watch that. For those of us that work in the seniors market, a lot of times we're dealing with multiple family members who are weighing in on price. That metric conversation takes all the emotion out of it, and you have to, as agents, we want to go in with what our strategy is. I think it's fair to say that, yes, the seller picks the price, but we as realtors, we have a certain strategy that we know works. I think it's fair. My strategy is the auction effect, and I lead with that all the time. It's our job to educate, and especially when you have a lot of family members weighing in, they need hardcore education. And I pulled that out, that the metrics conversation, and shared it in writing in an email to 5 siblings. It worked magically. So I think we can't overstate how powerful that particular video is.
If you are an Inspire member, you need to go into the portal, you go to Weekly Mastermind Replays, and you find the April 15th call with Aaron Simons and Emily Baker. If you're not an Inspire member, you go to jamesdshaw.com and you click Join Inspire. And you go watch that call. That call is worth 10 years of your Inspire membership because you get such good tactical advice about how to price right and how to strategically bring the price down when you need to. Thank you, Jean Marie. Appreciate you so much. All right, let's get as many as we can. We'll go Jessica Wright, then Cindy, then Jess Starr, then Anna Kruger. So go ahead, Jessica Wright. Good morning.
Good morning, James. Thank you. I'm finding in this market that I have to go in prepared with my price in my head. And then I strategically, if they don't meet me where I think we should be priced, then I spell it out right there on the listing agreement. If we're getting no showings, no offers, we do this. If we're getting showings, no offers, we do this. So I spell it out on the front end with them. So my price reductions are already placed. I don't have to go back. It's not a question or a guessing game. They know exactly what our next play is if they're not priced right on the front end. And I'm really nailing them on condition. If we need flooring, because new construction is heavy in our market right now, we have a ton of competition. So if we're not condition based to their price, then I'm preparing them for that also. I'm reducing the price to drive it up. And I have a seller right now sitting, he priced it way over my price, and we've reduced all the way back down to the price I told them to list at.
Well,
and so now now they're chasing back down. So I think pre-planning my price reductions with them if I know they're not priced right on the front end, and then really digging in on the condition of the property compared to the competition on the front end to get them down on price when we list. Those two things are helping a ton.
It's really good. We got time for a couple more. We're going to get them in. Cindy, good morning.
Good morning. So one of the things that I never did before is I never brought my computer, and I do now because they like to compare their houses to other sales. So I can show them the pictures and all of that. I also explained that days on market doesn't mean days on DOM does not mean days on market. It means disastrous outcomes made. So that will in turn make them see the differences. And I like to show them when it's cumulative days on market as well. So we emphasizing mostly for the how long something is, and don't be the one that they're comparing to be the one that they go buy the other property by pricing it incorrectly the first time.
It's good advice. That's how you sell 400 homes a year. Jessica Starr, good morning.
Hey, just like Jess said before, the condition of the home is really crucial in staging as well. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that during the last 5 years.
Yeah.
We've always focused on that. So if people are rushing to go to the market because they have an urgency behind them, stress to them that putting a brake on might be really important so that they can position it correctly with the value of the home and the condition matching up. I also would say evaluate the market conditions, meaning how many properties have been coming on the market to know like, hey, we've had an X percentage of increase in inventory. Therefore, we should price it X percentage below the market. So really know your market in your town specifically, or the multiple towns that you service, so that you can say, hey, this is a strategy session. And when we talk about this, it's not just saying that the value of your home is worth X. We want to strategize to reposition you maybe even below the market so that we generate more interest because the market has been increasing so much faster.
That's good advice. We got time for one more. It's Anna Kruger. Good morning.
Good morning. I love what Jenny said about having them compare their houses. It kind of walks them into the price. Some data I picked up years ago that I just love. It's so good in the selling price conversation. But when you price a home just right, 60% of people will click on this online. And I got this from Keeping Current Matters. And I think it's not, 100% because the house isn't everybody's style. But when it's a good price for the market, 60% of people will click on it. When you price it over by 10%, it drops by half. It drops to 30% of people will click on that house. And if you overprice it by 15%, now only 10% of people will click on that house. And so that kind of data can really help people see the danger of overpricing a house. And I love that disastrous outcomes. That was really great. So there's some data if that helps you in your listing appointments.
It's all good. Hey, this call was great. Thank you for everybody for being on it and sharing. It's maybe one to go back and re-listen to. It's one to share with people inside of your office who are struggling with price. Again, I don't think that I think that we need to get reminders from time to time. It's not about learning new strategies. It's about getting reminders sometimes. And this week is all about reminders, things you know, but let's get back to the basics. Because if you're frustrated or disappointed around where things are, and you've got some sort of it's probably a basic that needs adjusting, not something fancy. All right, that's it. We're out of time. Inspire members, we will see you at noon Eastern. Mignon is helping us with navigating the shift. Everybody else, we're back and better than ever tomorrow. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. See ya. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, James.